Welcome to the channel. If you're watching this video, you either purchased a hood scoop from me that I've painted and included upgraded hardware, or you purchased one off of eBay or Amazon for $60 or $70 and you're opening it up and figuring out how the heck do I install it because they don't include any instructions and the hardware is lacking as well. So from what I've found, all the ones that I've ordered, there's two different styles that they come as. So the first one is this one that is just right out of the mold, and it's got a gloss finish that needs to be scotched pad down so that way it's rough before you paint it. So the way I do it is I scuff it up, I spray a adhesion promoter and then a base coat until it's completely covered, and then several coats of clear. Now also the other way I see these come are the ones that are white. And what's nice is this is an exact match for super white. However, I don't think it's a base and then a clear. I think this is just a one-part paint right here. So if you did get one of these, it will match, but I would scuff it up and put a coat of clear because I think in the sun, this is gonna look horrible in a year or maybe even less. Another thing I found is in China, they don't do a very good job on the paint. So this one came and look, the paint's screwed up. So if that happens to you and you don't have a setup where you're spraying like I am, you're gonna have to return it or deal with that, and that would drive me crazy. So another thing is the way they come, this one company, when they come like this, and both of these are off eBay, two different sellers, it comes with the black hood scoop part that's in the front completely loose. All right, and then the hardware in the back. Now they all come with the same hardware. You got the seals that go around the edge, and then you've got these clips that are supposed to go in these slots, but they are not necessary. You're gonna have to drill a pretty big hole to put these into the hood, and it's overkill. All you need are the mounting points back here and then in the corner. And you can use the ones that come with this and slide those into the corner like that, and then over on this corner. Now, another thing that's confusing is when you get the ones that come with this already installed, they use the wrong hardware where they've mounted this. So you really need to remove this. And again, these pieces are going to be used in the corner. And they typically give you 4 of these, even though you have 6 mounting points plus these 2. Doesn't make any sense. So you're going to use 2 of these and you'll have 2 spares. If you buy from me, I'm going to include these T-track T-bolts that are 1/4 and you're going to glue them right into each of these, which I'll go over later. Otherwise, you can get these on Amazon. There they are. It's about $11 for a pack of 20 of them. And then you'll need nuts as well to go on those that are 1/4. So again, wrong hardware is mounted on here. You're gonna use the slide hardware to mount this back. Just slides in and then the bolt goes in, slides in, bolt goes in on top. So make sure, maybe the one you get from China has the right hardware installed, but if it has the T-bolts holding this, it's the wrong ones. Take them out. One thing I forgot too is I've received about 3 of these that are damaged. On the first 2, these tabs, one of them were broken off. You do not need these. These tabs are only here because this is an exact replica of a real TRD Pro or Sport scoop. And if you had one of those, there would already be a slot in your hood this would fit in. So if you're putting this on a non-TRD Pro, non-Sport, you're gonna cut these tabs off. So if it comes broken, don't worry about it. Now, if it comes broken like this one and you're missing the side mount, you need to send it back or get a refund. So here's what it looks like on that side. So this one is shot because that's going to be a key mounting point right here, and it does me no good with that being broken off. Okay, so now let's go over what you're going to get if you purchase one of these hood scoops from me. So here is one in MGM magnetic gray metallic that I finished. Now you gotta remember, I am not a professional auto body shop. This is done in my garage, okay? But the finishes still come out pretty darn good. But you may have just some little nibs in there. I do compound these out. There's gonna be some scratches in the clear coat, but these are going on older Tundras, 2014 to 2021. So I think it'll actually work out better and blend in with your truck, since your truck probably has some scratches on it. But again, it's a 2K clear that I use and comes out pretty darn good. The OEM parts for this, which I'm going to include in the description, are over $600, and then you still have to have it painted. So you're looking at probably close to $1,000 involved on these hood scoops if you go straight from a dealership. And again, the ones on eBay and Amazon are exact replicas. Also, when I ship it, I'm going to cut up pool noodles and put them on the edge to help with shipping and hopefully not have any damage. So I'll pack them better than they come from Amazon or eBay. Another thing is I'm going to include about an ounce of touch-up paint, so you can use it for the rest of your truck, but you can also use it to touch up around the holes that you drill in your hood for that exposed metal. You'll also have an instruction sheet, and in here I tell you to go to my YouTube channel and look for this video, and then that way you've got everything you need and you'll watch me install this on my own truck. Okay, on the other side, I will have put in the seals, so that'll already be done for you. I'll have the black hood scoop part installed correctly with the right hardware. You'll be using 2 of the T-bolts that come with the hood scoop from eBay or Amazon on the front corners only. Then I'm going to include 6 of these T-track bolts with the nuts. They look like this, okay? And I've used JB Weld, 2-part JB Weld to glue them in. So I highly recommend that. So that way when you make your template, they're not moving around and you drill the holes exactly where these bolts are gonna go. So that's something you'll need to do. You'll need to figure out the epoxy or glue you wanna use to hold those in, and then let them set up overnight so they're nice and strong. I will also cut off the tabs here, so you don't have to have a cutoff saw or worry about that. So those will be done for you. So again, everything is ready to go. All you're gonna need to do is make a template for yours and then drill the holes, and it's gonna be ready to get mounted. I'm also gonna put a piece of weather stripping, black rubber stripping right here, because there is a slight gap between the hood and the front. So I'll have that on yours as well. Next step on this installation is gonna be making your template. So went to the local store. I got a pack of poster boards here. One of them is not wide enough, so I simply overlapped 2 sheets and then taped them together. Before I glued the bolts in, I laid it out and just traced it. That's not necessary. I just wanted to see how it laid out on there. The next step is I picked it up. You set it down and you push. Not real hard. Push around where those bolts are coming out. And you're gonna see it makes an indentation right there, right there, and right there. Okay, now we are missing the 2 middle ones, but what I'm gonna do is make a hole in the ones that did make a mark, and then I'll set it down on top of my scoop, and I'll mark these 2 and get those drilled or cut out of the template, and then we'll lay it out on there. You'll see on some other videos, there's a really good one with a guy putting on an OEM one, and he put dab paint on the end of these and then set it down. But I found that with the poster board, it'll make an indentation if you just set it down and lightly press on it. Okay, I've set it down. I flipped the hood scoop over. They lined up. I pushed it through, and once you feel where those other 2 bolts are, just push your finger down on top of them, right there. And I don't know if it's picking it up on video, but you'll see an indentation. So now I'm gonna take it off, pop a hole through there. All right, I got my marks. So now our template is complete. Make sure that it's not bowing up or anything in the middle, because if that happens, when you lay it flat on the hood, your holes are going to be all out of whack. So make sure once you have this on, everything looks pretty flat. Okay, now, like I said earlier, you didn't need to trace it out before you have the bolts glued in. So at this point, since it's going to sit flush, you could go ahead and trace it out. Now I'm going to just cut out my template right along the inside line of my trace. Right, see how this fits now. Okay, so there we go. Not too much overlap. It's good enough to get it lined up. Okay, so this is probably why it's better not to trace it originally like I did. Wait till you get it pressed onto the bolts and then trace it out, because I've got a little bit left and I don't want that to throw off my measurement from the back side of the hood, which I'll show later. So I just marked it. I'm going to trim off a little more. Same on the front. I just want to make sure it's the exact dimensions of the hood scoop. Okay, so here we go with the template. I'm going to try to get a good view of this so everyone has the measurements. One of the good installation videos, I just went to it to double check it, and it says for members only now, so you can't watch it. So hopefully mine replaces his, because I'm not going to do that. I'm going to leave this free, and hopefully it helps. If you buy one from me, great. If not, it'll show you how to install one that you get off eBay or Amazon. So here's what I've done to get the center line. It's 60 inches between the edge of the hood to the edge of the hood. So center line is going to be 30 inches. The width of the scoop is 31 inches. So 15 and a half is the center line of the scoop, and then line it up with 30 on your rule, on your tape measure. The only other measurements you need are from the top corners here. It doesn't matter down here. If you're lined up even on the back, this is going to take care of itself. So you're going to be 4.5 inches from the crest of the hood. So right there, I have it set at 4.5, and it's hitting right on the edge of the tape I have and right at the corner. And the same goes for over on this corner. I tape the edge of the crest and right at 4.5. Okay, so once you get your center line and you get each corner lined up, go ahead, tape it down so it doesn't move and it's locked in place. Next step is take your marker and mark your holes before we drill into the hood. All right, next step is, got the hood open. You're gonna need to get this thing panning the right direction. You're gonna need to take this cover off first, and there's a couple plastic clips. My truck's a 2016, so it's going on 9 years of the heat. So I busted about half the clips that came out of this thing. Anyway, put down a blanket or something to catch the clips so you don't lose them. And then also you're gonna want this blanket here when you drill, so you don't have all that falling into your engine compartment. Look, I forgot one last one in each corner here, so I gotta get those out. All right, it's off now. You do have your windshield washer fluid line coming through here, and one of these holes, it's gonna come through close to that. Might be that one, I'm not sure. So we're gonna keep an eye on that. When I drill the holes, I'm just gonna go through till I penetrate and then come look and see how I'm looking so I don't cut into anything. All right, it was nerve-wracking, but the first hole is drilled. I am using a step bit and I've got it marked at 1/4 inch. So now I'm gonna make sure that the T-bolts fit into that size hole. All right, I got 7 more to go. There we go, it's perfect fit. The 1/4-20 T-track bolt goes right in. Actually, I just thought of something. The front two are the smaller Chinese hardware that comes through this, so you don't need a 1/4-20 size. It's gonna work fine. But I think a 1/8 hole will work. I'm gonna check it. All right, so here's a piece Chinese hardware that's gonna be on the front. It's tight. So, yeah. So you're gonna go with the 1/4-20 on all of them. Okay, so that felt like I hit one of those support members under the hood, so we're gonna open this up and take a look at it here. All right, so let's see. Nope, I'm clear there. Boy, that one's close. That one comes real close, but we're all right. All right, let's keep going. Well, they're all in there. Now let's see where they hit. All right, so that one, and here's the one that comes close to your line. But if you're using a step bit, you're not going to come through too far. So it looks like we didn't hit a cross member on any of them. So you guys should be in good shape. I'm sure this hood's the same as all of them, but this is a 2016, this truck. All right, time to see if it lines up. All right, she's in. Now, I'm gonna be honest. When I went to put it on the first time, it was tight. The whole back ones, it was like they were off by literally one little hair of a thread. And I didn't want to push. I'm sure I could have pushed it in. I didn't want to risk one of those bolts breaking out. So what I did is I just simply went to the next step beyond the 1/4 there, or whatever size I did that I said earlier, just to one larger size. And then I was able to put it in, and it had a nice snug tight fit. And then of course, when we get it pulled down, that gap will be gone on there. So I think it's looking pretty good. And now the next step is we're gonna put the nuts on, and we're gonna use some Loctite on them as well. All right, here we go. All right, so now that they're snugged up, and I'm just doing hand tight, I've got the Loctite on there. I'm definitely not cranking them down because it's all plastic mounts. Same for the front too, just hand tight. And now you can see that gap's gone. And everything looks really good. The seals are hitting, I believe. Those black seals that go on, and if you do those black seals, the edge goes on the inside, not the outside. You do not want to see the edge of the black seals on the outside. All right, guys, next thing is I've got to see if the length of these T-bolts are going to be an issue with putting that heat shield back on. I'm hoping I don't have to cut them off. So we'll find out here. Oh yeah, and one other tip. If you got a garage buddy like mine, make sure you don't back out over them. Because I was gonna back this out to see what it looks like in the sun. And then I realized my buddy's down there. So I'm gonna get this backed out and then I'll do another clip. All right guys, so don't make the same mistake that I did. I got so excited about this thing fitting that I went ahead and put it on, screwed it on, put the insulation back on, then realized I never filled in the holes with some paint. So I'm gonna be including touch-up paint of your color with the order. And you can use that for this or for touch-ups on your truck. I don't have MGM in a touch-up bottle yet, so I'm just gonna use Rust-Oleum and squirt some to cover up this because it is a steel hood. The new Tundras 2022 and up are aluminum, but this is steel. If that starts rusting, it could spread. I don't want that. So just make sure you remember to do that step before you put everything back together like I did. All right, so let's get a look at her. So not bad for a paint job done in a garage with a non-professional. I think the match is good on the color, but I've kept my truck waxed so the color isn't faded on it. The fit looks great. I mean, for an OEM one, spending $600 plus having to pay to have it painted, I mean, these aftermarket ones are definitely an option for you, whether you buy it from me or not. Anyway, it came out great. So hopefully this video helped you guys.